the oldest of three. I have two younger brothers. My parents divorced when I was 5, and it was kind of ugly. I remember some details about that, and I remember being really tore up because my mom had a new man really like right away, and I remember one night my dad banging on the door and really angry, and my dad isn't an angry person, he's a non-conflict type of person, but I have this memory of being 5 and thinking, who is this guy in my house and why is my dad outside? And then my mom had this boyfriend that was a severe alcoholic addict on and off for 18 years after that. And he was a nice enough guy, but he was very damaged and he was very detached, and he pretty much told us from the get-go that he wasn't going to be our father. He wasn't going to be a father figure. He wasn't comfortable with that. He said he was messed up, and he didn't want us to look up to him for any kind of guidance. I started using pretty early, and I carried on, into adulthood. I partied, I went to the bars a lot, hung out with my girlfriends, did a lot of drinking and driving. Can't believe I never hurt anybody or myself. I never even got a drunk driving ticket. It's a miracle. I know God was looking out for me. And I got saved when I was 28. Problem was I didn't change any of those old people, places, and things. I went back to using, partying. I lived with my brother for a good 6 months at that time, and everybody was just doing dope around us. And I got to the point where I was just like, what am I doing? This is insane. I've got my 3-year-old son in this house with everybody partying all the time, and it's such a bad situation for him. So for the first time, I got my own place. And then I hooked up with my youngest son's dad, and he shot dope. And I made the mistake of moving in with him. At that point, I got clean. This is 9 years ago, and at 2 years clean, I met Frank. I was at church at East Hill one day, and I heard God speak again to me about a promise ring, that we were to get promise rings. And it was scary because we were barely even dating yet. And I talked to him about it, and I said, this is going to sound crazy, but I think God wants us to get promise rings and abstain. And we did. He said, it doesn't sound crazy to me at all. I said, I don't want you to think like I need some big ring or like I'm trying to trap you or anything. Like it could be a string on my finger. It's just that I really feel like God wants a reminder. He was totally different than anybody I'd ever been with. Totally different in the fact that I'd been with Christians before, but I'd never been with anybody that really was trying on a daily basis to be in God's will. And it was a beautiful thing. So Frank, he got in this men's group, and when he got in the Genesis group with the guys at church, I watched some miraculous things happen in his life. We've gotten so close in the last year. And, my son Joe, he's got over 100 days clean. He just got his GED. He's signed up for PCC, got 12 free credits through that GED program. He just got a sponsor in Narcotics Anonymous, and I'm just amazed at what God's doing in his life. This church thing for me is so huge. Like, I sat in the back of the bus. I sat in the back of the church. I sat in East Hill on and off for years. Just, I tried to meet people. I took classes, but it just didn't work out, because it's too big. And so I'm so glad to be in on the ground floor of As Is, because it's such a huge thing to be accepted as I am, and to learn how to accept others as they are. Yeah, I walk in and it feels like home, and I know God's got big, big things planned for us there.